Hello everyone, this is Dave from Dave's Wreaths and Things. We are jumping into day number 5 of my Wreathster Week series. If you're new to my channel, every now and then I do 7 days, 7 wreaths, all consistently, or I should say consecutively, to create a full week of wreaths. This time we're celebrating Easter, and I call this week Wreathster Week, and we are on day number 5. Why don't I just jump right into it? Let's get started and I'll show you what I made for day number 5 of Wreathster Week. I'm going to be using these egg rounds that are made out of wood. Now they have a pattern on one side. I'm not going to use this side. I'm actually going to be using the flat side. Along with these florals in multiple colors, multiple styles. We've got some tulips in there, some little mini roses. I'm using a couple of acrylic paints, lavender and daffodil yellow, along with a wide bristled paintbrush, and I'm going to be using some white acrylic paint as a primer. Multiple ribbons, so patterns, colors, sizes. There's 2.5 inch, there's 1 inch, and I'm going to be using my regular crafting utensils to create this project today. I'm going to start off with the wooden egg shape, and I'm going to actually prime it first. So I'm laying down a lot of white paint, and I'm using my paintbrush just to make a nice even layer. And then once that's done, I'm going to let that fully dry. And once that is all dry, I'm going to come in with that lavender color, and I'm just going to place that right down, and I'm going to create another nice thick coat, filling up that whole space with this beautiful lavender color. Now, I'm using lavender. You can use any color that you want, like the yellow that I showed you earlier. And once I'm done that, I'm going to let that completely dry as well. Once it's all dry, I've picked out my ribbon that I'm going to use. This is a 2.5 inch Easter ribbon. I'm just going to cut the length of the width of the egg, and I'm just going to kind of figure out where I want to place it. And I also know that I'm going to use a couple of that pink color, so I'm going to cut those, and then 1 strip of that sheer lavender ribbon. I'm going to start off just placing that 2.5 inch ribbon down first, kind of getting an idea where I want to place it, a little bit in the center. I'm going to flip it over, add some hot glue, and then what I'm going to do is flip it over again. And to make sure it lays nice and flat, I'm going to put an ever so light bead of glue down on both edges, flip that over, and then I'm just going to trace over it with my hand, making it nice and flat. And then I'm just going to attach it to the back with some more hot glue, laying that in place. And we've got our first ribbon down, and now I'm going to layer it with the pink. First, I'm just going to glue it right in the center so I get an idea of where it's going to go. And I'm going to do a second one as well, right below that first one, and do the same procedures where I add a little bit of glue down just to make sure they lay nice and flat. And then I do the second one the same way. I'm going to flip that over once I do both sides and add some hot glue onto the back. And then I'm just going to glue those right in place and trim off the excess so it looks a little bit better on the opposite side. And then we do the other side as well, the same thing, just chopping off that excess after we glue it. And now I'm going to place that sheer lavender color ribbon right in the center. And again, an ever so small amount of glue, laying it down flat, and then I'm going to glue it on the back, trim off the excess, and once we're done, we have our little ribbon all ready and in place. Now that that's all dry, we're ready to go with our florals. So I'm just going to take apart my florals, and I'm going to cut a little bit of the stem right at the back there. I want these florals to lay a little bit flatter. I'm going to take some greenery, and I like to create little piles of all of my florals and all of my greenery and have everything around me as I'm creating it. And my idea was to do a little bit of a cluster of florals right in the center. So I'm adding those cosmos flowers, I'm adding some tulips, just really layering it down, creating a whole bundle of those floral. Now you can use any florals that you want. These are the ones that I chose for this project. But again, you can choose any type of florals that you want. I'm adding some greenery in there. I love using greenery to break up a little bit of the colors and just to add a little bit of that wonderful green color in there. And now I'm adding those little pink roses. They're mini roses, and I think it's just turning out so well. Let's add some more greenery using those ferns. I love to add interest to my florals, so using different greeneries and different florals always adds a lot of interest. Here we are with our final little floral bundle. I am just in love with how this turned out, and to hang it, there is an existing hole there already right at the top that I've painted over. So I'm just going to cut a length of ribbon that matches, use my X-Acto tool just to kind of carve out that hole. And then I'm just going to take a little wire that I had cut from a floral stem and feed that ribbon right through that hole that we just created. I'm going to pull that through. I'm going to tie the end, chop off the excess, and then we have just created a little hook or hanger for our wreath to go on our front door or wherever you want to hang it. Here is our beautiful lavender egg-shaped wooden floral decor door hanger. Say that 10 times fast. With all of our florals, all of that ribbon, I just love how this turned out for day number 5 of our Wreathster week. Don't forget to click that playlist right down below for all the other episodes if you wish to watch them all. Thank you so much for joining me today for day number 5 of Wreathster week. I had a lot of fun making this wreath, and I hope you had a lot of fun watching the video as well. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.